Everything is everything. This is the fundamental principle that all concepts can and should be applied across the board in as many different facets of life as possible. Hi, I'm Bobby Murray. I want to tell you a little bit about myself and a philosophy I've been developing. For a little over 4 years now, I've been a full-time tuba player with the Disneyland Band. I also play bass drum and bass trombone in the band. As well, I sing and I run a group on the outside called La La Brass. But a few months before that, things were much different. So I had just finished grad school. One of my shows received its end of run notice, and I had just turned 30. I was looking for some stability, and an audition came up at the resort for the new Disneyland Band, so I decided to take it. But I also decided if I didn't get this job, I was ready to move on from professional music. Figured I could go join the Forest Service, be a park ranger, get the cool hat. But first, if I was going to make such a heavy decision, I really wanted to give it my best shot, and really go in on this audition. So the way these auditions work is there's a technical and a musical piece. For the musical piece, I opted to not do a standard tuba audition, and instead I wanted to give them all of me. So first I sang the melody, I played the melody, I walked the bass line on the tuba, I beatboxed, and then I whistled a solo. There was a whole big bang-up ending. Long story short, I got the job. This is really about everything is everything. Music is music. If I can sing it, I can play it on the tuba. If I can articulate it on the bass drum, I can articulate it on the trombone. Life is really about our values, our principles. Once I learned what mattered to me, everything else just started to make sense. My greatest value is thoughtfulness. It's the opposite of thoughtlessness. But rather than an extreme, it's a continuum. A thoughtless person is not paying attention to the world. It's the guys who are walking and texting. I do this sometimes myself. I run into a wall. It's really uncomfortable. Bad idea. Most of us aren't this all the time, but we're all this sometimes. Thought some is in the middle. Most people fall into this category. Maybe it makes sense, but it lacks a little bit of care. It's on the way to thoughtful, but it's really not quite fully fleshed out. And of course, thoughtful is someone who pays attention to the whole picture. So what is thoughtfulness? Most people strive to be well-rounded individuals. We really want to fill up our proverbial cups. We're either trying to save the world or have the best bottom line. Now, if you try to fit a circle in a square, it's going to fit. As long as the sides of the circle are a little bit smaller than the sides of the square, it will fit inside. But what about those corners? See, the area isn't quite full. In life, there's often angles that we don't see. What are we missing? What are we not thinking about? How can we make this better? Thoughtfulness is made up of three distinct parts. The first is logic. This is efficiency, common sense, financial gain. It's the most sensible product or plan you can come up with. Second is heart, the empathy, the vulnerability. It's all about the people in this one. It's really the soul of humanity. And third is balance. These are the pillars that hold the first two together. That's really the support of logic and heart. When you turn this shape on its side, you get a mountain made of logic and heart, balanced together with the foundation of thoughtfulness. I've always dreamed of climbing Mount Everest, and maybe someday I will. But it's hard work. It takes years of preparation, 3 months to actually climb the peak. It costs about $65,000, and there's only about a half to a third of the oxygen that we have at sea level. To reach the top, you need logic. But that's only half the mountain. So here's a little fun fact about Everest. For every 15 people who climb it, one person dies. More interesting to me is that most deaths occur on the way down. Heart is that way down. Heart is the human side of the issue. Why does this matter? Who are we helping? Who are we hurting? What's the point? I think the point is to get safely back down that mountain. Back to our family, our friends, our favorite taco spot, whatever. This is really thoughtfulness. So as we reach that proper balance, our thoughtfulness well kind of fills up. It's this magma chamber underneath, churning. We can't see it. It's beneath the surface, so it's all down there churning and doing its thing. But once it fills up, it explodes into a state of absolute consciousness. It's our most effective selves. It's really a sense of enlightenment. Mountains have always symbolized strength, overcoming obstacles, humankind's greatest ambitions and desires, as well as the divine. If you live your life based on the principle of heart and logic balanced by a foundation of thoughtfulness, you will reach that state of enlightenment, that state of your most effective self. This concept can and should be applied to everything we do, because as I said, everything is everything.